Hey everyone, what is good? Welcome back to the channel. This is Silver Hyena, and to recap, yeah, there's this, which is really quite dreadful. Oh gosh, I don't even want to, and this, and oh yeah, there's also this, which, oddly enough, this thing ain't half bad. I mean, look at that. Whew. Could poke somebody's eye out with that thing. Okay, so now that we've established that, and this and this, yeah, I'd say it's time to prep one of these for illustration and just get this over with, because I have a feeling I'm gonna be struggling with this one. Okay. Hey, look what I found! Okay, so here it is, all set up and ready to go. Hopefully with it being taped down, the paper won't be able to buckle as badly. However, it would be appreciated but not expected. By the way, this is painter's tape, which you can pick up at any hardware store or the hardware section of most big box stores. It's basically just as good as artist's tape. It just doesn't come from a craft store, and it costs a heck of a lot less, so that's why I like it. Anyways, as I had said in the previous video, I am only using the components that came with this kit, which means no sketching pencils for me. I have to use these for the sketching. However, I figured that because for some reason this green did not meld the way the rest of the pencils did, this is going to be my primary sketching pencil. So I'm turning a negative into a plus as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, let's just get that out of here, and yeah, I want to get started on this. Oh boy. Okay, I'll probably kill the review before it even starts with this statement, but I'll say it anyway. You get what you pay for. I've used some art supplies from Royal Langnickel in the past, and they've ranged from okay to pretty good. In particular, I'm very fond of their line of alcohol-based markers. If you're curious, I'll have a link in the description below and one of those little eye bubbles up in the corner there. But this kit as a standalone, oh my gosh. If this had been my introduction to the brand, I would have probably avoided it because, dang. I know at this point I've already given the paper a good, well-deserved roasting, but seriously, this paper sucks. It was terrible. Ick. I think there's Dollar Tree paper out there with better quality. Calling it junk is an insult to junk. Honestly, it's a good thing that I taped it down, since after the first wash, this stuff already wanted to nope out of that situation. Okay, so you get the point. The paper is beyond dreadful. Now, while there was that one watercolor pencil that didn't want to watercolor, the one advantage it offered was that my line art didn't vanish. You know, because I stupidly decided that I should only use what came in the kit. However, it was kind of awkward trying to minimize the use of guidelines because I wanted to minimize erasing. Overall, the colored pencils that came in the kit were probably the best part about it, even if I got a defective one. The color selection is okay, about what you'd expect for a 10-pack of pencils. There isn't any groundbreaking depth or anything, but they're usable. Of course, I refer you back to the before-mentioned paper on that bit. Now the watercolor cakes. Oh boy. Woof. I have used watercolors of high to low quality. These are somewhere in the range of those terrible Five Below watercolors, also from a kit, and Artist's Loft. Granted, I think that Artist's Loft watercolor pans are actually better than these things. In light of this, I'm considering picking up a set of Royal Langnickel watercolors, just the watercolor pans by themselves, just as a standalone review and to compare to the ones that came in the kit. These watercolors left a kind of chalky residue, and we all know how much I detest chalk in my watercolors. Chalk in watercolors should not be a thing. Overall, while the watercolor pencils were kind of okay, they were really the only thing about this kit I actually liked. Luckily, it was only $7, and now I have bestowed this wisdom unto you. So only waste your $7 if necessary. If anything else, you could get like a Big Mac meal for that. Maybe. I don't know. Fast food has gotten expensive. Okay, but that's a rant for another time. Okay, so final thoughts on these. As the whole learn to watercolor drawing, how do I think this kit how does it? You can probably tell that I wasn't really super duper impressed with it. I mean, you can obviously do something with it, but starting off, this paper, I think that a 1 out of 10 rating is generous. The paper, two double jointed thumbs down, awful. The watercolor paint pans that they give you, oh boy, got that chalky. Yeah, I'd give these about maybe I would say that maybe a 3 out of 10 is generous. Way too kind. Yeah, lousy. I mean, like, you can use them, but I didn't really like them all that much. And now then, the watercolor pencils, it's like, okay, this one green aside that just would not melt, it would not play ball. The watercolor pencils, like, they didn't appear to be too bad. In fact, I'll probably do a standalone video on them. But as it stands, the whole Royal Langnickel learn to watercolor drawing, whatever, I didn't think too much of it. I really didn't. It was mediocre at best. It really was. Sorry, Royal Langnickel. You've made some great paintbrushes that I have used. Some of Royal Langnickel's things have been fantastic. I love their alcohol-based markers. The Royal Langnickel Azure, the alcohol-based markers, I loved those things. But this watercolor drawing kit, not so much. However, like one of the things I almost forgot to mention here was that these watercolor pans, it left like these flecks in the rinse water. It was weird. I mean, usually watercolor, it just kind of dissolves into the water when you're rinsing off your brushes, but this left like flecks in there. Ugh. Like, the overall kit, I would say that as overall rating, I'd only give it about a 4 out of 10 overall. Technically, you can do something in it, and it looks like there's some useful information in here. But the components themselves, I wasn't terribly impressed. However, the rating for these... Stop that. The ratings for these pencils themselves may change when I do a review of them on proper paper. And there it goes again. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope that you have enjoyed this video and learned something from it. You gotta watch me roast art supplies again, which I'm sure most of you love. And with all that being said, subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and as usual, stay creative, everybody. Bye! Now, I'm sure you've all been waiting for this. Let's do a paint peel.